everyone, my name's Professor Turkington and I'm going to be your instructor for this upcoming course. I wanted to take just a quick minute to introduce the class to you and give you some tips and suggestions that will help you get the most out of your time and the course material. So without further ado, let's get started. As with any class, the first place you're going to want to start is under your Home tab of this course. Here you'll find the most recent announcements as well as upcoming to-do list items. Now keep in mind that this is from a very specific course, so the dates and the order of things might be a little bit different in your course in the future, but this is a good overall outline for any of the public speaking courses. So as with most of your courses, on the home page you're going to find all of the important links that you need to be aware of, including your textbook. All you need to do is open it up and it will provide you with access to the textbook as well as schedule, modules, and things like that. If you have any technical issues or any other problems, be sure to use the various tools that are available from the help desk, the course support, the writing lab, and so on. Since this is a very technical heavy course in that we're going to be creating presentations a lot, it's really important to make sure that if you have any downtime with your computer or if you're experiencing anything at all, that you reach out to either me or tech support as quickly as possible so that you don't fall behind. Now the next thing that I want to bring your attention to will be the announcements. Because from this student view nothing has gone live yet, you don't see a list of announcements, but as with most of your courses, you're going to find all of your announcements here. I'm not sure about your other courses, but announcements are perhaps one of the most important things to pay attention to in any of my courses, because this is where I really try to communicate with you besides just the message board, which is a great resource for communicating as well, but this is where I stand up in front of the class and tell you what you need to be aware of today, tomorrow, this week, in a couple weeks, and so on. Do not neglect to look at the announcements at least 2 or 3 times a week. I would prefer every day because I usually try and send out an announcement every day, give or take. Obviously, it's not always exactly like that, but I will have several announcements a week. Really stay engaged with those so that you know what's coming up, what to expect, and how to continue through this course. The next place you want to take a look before you really jump into the class is under the Modules tab. Here you are going to find all of the work that we're going to be tackling over the next 8 weeks. Now note, one important thing is that you absolutely must go through all of the Start Here material and either acknowledge, check it off, or continue to Next in order to be able to open up the actual modules. Do not forget that you must go through every single one of these steps, including the APA acknowledgement, before the other modules will open up. So you'll see they're grayed out. If anything's grayed out, it's probably because you forgot one of the sections up here, so double check that. Now, I want you to spend a bit of time before we really jump into class going over the upcoming modules so that you have an idea of what we're going to be completing. But as you can probably see, each week we are either going to be doing some sort of reflection or presentation, or we're going to be planning for those. Some of the later assignments you'll see will have outlines and then the actual presentation. So these are going to be a little bit larger and more involved. So be aware that some of the presentations will be quick and easy. Others might take 2 or 3 weeks to really work through. So just keep that in mind as you are planning your time and including any trips or anything you might have so that you can work in a way that fits your schedule best so that you're still able to hit the key due dates. And you'll see that in Module 8, we have our biggest presentation due, which we will be working on in Module 6, 7, and 8. So as you see, that's sort of the culmination of everything we've been doing. But each presentation has a little bit of a different tone. So go in and take a look at all of these once you've completed your Start Here material, just to get an idea of how we are going to flow from one idea to the next. And it's important to know that since we are going to be using technology a lot to create our presentations, if you don't know how to use something, don't know how to do something, or need some help with apps or programs to do this, you can reach out to me. You can use the Student Cafe to ask your classmates what they might be using, what they like to use, and watch out for the announcements. I will have several announcements that cover different programs and tools that you can use to create presentations and record audio and video. So be on the lookout for those as well. And if you're actually experiencing technical issues within Canvas or anything else, don't forget to look at course support or tech support. But that should pretty much cover everything you need to know jumping in. Like I said, pay close attention to the announcements when they pop up, and take a look at all of your modules the first week of class so that you get an idea of what is going to be expected. One final thing I want to point out before we really jump in is that the discussions, as you'll see on the syllabus, are graded cumulatively, which means that throughout the week, as you do your initial post, which is due Wednesdays, and then your replies, which are due by Sundays, your grade is going to slowly increase. That way it helps me keep track of who's communicated, and it helps you keep track of how much you have done, and it encourages you to stay engaged throughout the week with all of the discussions. So with that, I look forward to working with you, and if you have any questions about the course in particular, don't hesitate to reach out. The next thing I want to really quickly touch on is helpful links and resources that you can use throughout the class. Now, there are going to be videos on each of these that go in more depth and detail. For example, the library and BrainFuse will have their own dedicated videos that you can look at more, but this is just to kind of give you a quick overview of some of the tools that you can use no matter what sort of assignment you're working on, from quizzes to research papers to analyses to anything like that. So I just want to run through some of these, and as usual, they will be linked either in discussions and announcements or within their specific videos that come up throughout the course. The first one that I would like to point you to is the Purdue University, the Purdue OWL Writing Lab. This, besides the class material in Canvas, is going to be the absolute best resource you can use to answer any questions you have about writing and get any tips and tricks you might need for everything from doing research to MLA or APA format to grammar mistakes. You'll see that under the grammar section they have everything from how to write numbers to using pronouns to that versus which. They also have basic research papers that you can look at in examples. I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, right now you can go in and play around on the website, but be sure to take advantage of the Purdue OWL, because anything you're going to need, any question you have, chances are you're going to be able to find the answer here, especially if you need some more help, something that's maybe not covered in a specific week's material. So take advantage of this. It's just owl.purdue.edu, and if you Google Purdue OWL, it'll come up just like this, and you can click on APA style guide or whatever you need. So all you need to do is just search Purdue OWL, and it'll take you to the writing lab. So be sure to take a look at that. That's really, really important no matter what you're writing or studying. And even if it's just for a quiz or a test or an assignment that you're not necessarily writing something, it will provide the information for you in a way that's really easy to digest. The next thing the next thing that we want to look at is Canva. Now, Canva is a way that you can create infographics. I have done all of the syllabi and announcements for some of my other courses using Canva. It's very intuitive and simple to use. It's pretty much plug and play where you can just move things around. So this is just a template that I downloaded to use looking at another project I was using. But you'll see that when you look at it, when you're actually in Canva, you can move around any of the elements. You can type in what you want. So you can move around, type, adjust. You can adjust the font size for anything. Obviously, I'm butchering this specific one, but you have access to adding or removing images. This is a really great way to create infographics or to work with presentations that you might have to do. So be sure to take advantage of this if you don't like using, say, PowerPoint, or you don't want to try and do it in Word, or you don't want to use Photoshop to get really in depth. Take a look at Canva and just search for canva.com, and you'll be able to find all of their templates and some tutorials and play around with that. The next thing that I want to suggest you look at is Mendeley. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly, but this is a tool that helps you keep track of research sources. So obviously this has very niche use case for specific research and writing projects, but if you are looking to keep your citations and sources organized, Mendeley has a really good method of doing that. I'm not going to go through that. I mentioned that more in another video, but basically it allows you to input the information for your source, and it will output a citation and a reference list for that, and it will let you keep everything alphabetically or numerically organized in a single resource. And if you put the actual PDF or text into Mendeley, you'll actually have access to the entire document that you can then go ahead and make notes and marks just like you could in Word, or if you're reading a paper book. So it's really handy if you want to keep track of and make notes on your research. But again, this obviously only applies to specific research projects. The next thing that I want to point out is the library. Now you should have a library tab on your course. Again, this is just a general intro for all courses. Make sure you look for your specific course to see if and where the library resource is. But it will take you to something that looks similar to this. Obviously, I'm in my teacher profile, and it might look a little different to you compared to what yours looks like. But from here, you're going to be able to access the library. I use the Learn library most. And this is how you're going to have access to all of your research information through the library. Again, there will be a specific library video later, so don't worry if you don't completely understand this all at once. I just wanted to point that out as a quick example. The final study help that I want to point out is BrainFuse. As with the library, BrainFuse is going to be a link in your Canvas page sidebar in pretty much any class. So if for some reason you don't see it in this class, maybe check another one of your classes, but it should be there in just about every class. This is going to give you everything from tutoring help to a writing center and a writing lab where you'll actually get feedback on your paper, to flashcards and vocabulary, basically anything that you could need no matter the subject. So this is something that's going to be useful for every class, not just this specific class. And again, I do have a dedicated video on using this because it does have a lot of things that you can do with it, and there's too much to cover in just this quick video. But be sure to take a look at BrainFuse if you want a little bit of extra study help. Now, one other thing that I want to point out for doing any presentations and sharing information, because I know that sharing and uploading files just through Canvas can be a little bit tricky. I like to use what's called OBS, or Open Broadcast Software. That's what I use to record and upload all of my videos. It's obviously more in depth than just recording using your Windows or Mac camera feature. So this is something that if you want to get a little bit more creative, take a look at this. There are other tools and programs like OBS, but this happens to be my favorite, and it offers a really robust system that you can work with. Again, take a look at tutorials if you're interested in that. This is just to kind of cover some of the options and opportunities you have specifically for sharing your content that you create in this class with me and with your fellow students and classmates. So I hope that helps. Like I said, all the links will be either in this video or in upcoming videos, or there will be dedicated videos on each one of these. Specifically, the BrainFuse and library videos are going to be a little bit more in depth because those are likely to be the most useful for you. But if you have any questions about any of these, let me know, and I will be sure to answer them either in the comments or in class. Well, I hope the video helped you get a little bit better idea of what to expect from this class and how to succeed and how to use some of the resources that you have available through the school. Now, one thing I want to really quickly remind you is that I am here to help you. My goal is to help you to learn and grow and succeed in the course, so don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I'm available through text, phone calls, and email pretty regularly. See the syllabus for exact details, but never be afraid of reaching out if you have any questions, and don't forget to rely on your fellow classmates because they are a great resource as well. So with that, I look forward to working with you in this class, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks!